Hello, everybody. We've got a crazy show for you today here at the Crypto Education Platform of Dreams. We're going to be talking about some crazy Welsh news. We're going to be talking about ARKADIKO, STX, Alex, the whole Bitcoin gammosphere. I hope you're excited because I'm excited. I'm a little tired, but I just got to keep making videos for you degenerates. I know you're addicted to call me Hunch. Okay, let's turn off the music. I'm only kidding. I have to say this, not financial advice. I just talk about interesting things in the crypto markets. I'm only reporting. I do not encourage you to invest in any of these things. Please get advice from a financial planner. Okay, thank you very much. Let's get to it. Okay, so I know you guys want me to start off with Welsh, so here we go. I tweeted this today. Is it everyone's sacred duty to farm Welsh on Alex so all the supply is dried up before exchanges list it? Just wondering. I tweeted this today. And here we go. MEXC is listing it. So the first centralized exchange is going to be listing Welsh. So that's some pumpamentals if there ever were some. Okay. Now, if you go look at the price, it looks like we're having a nice recovery after this downward wedge. Are we going to make new highs when we get listed on the SEC? The SEX, it's CEX, okay, centralized exchange. I don't know. I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's interesting. It's just a meme coin. Please be very careful with all these things. Make sure you're in a jurisdiction that allows you to trade them if you are interested in this thing. I don't recommend you to buy this. It's very dangerous. But it's interesting to watch meme mania on the Stacks chain. Okay, let's get into the meat and the potatoes. I made this video 12 days ago, okay, and it's going to preface what I'm going to talk about here today, okay? So just watch for just a second. Topics. On the Twitter, I found different handles from like venture capitalists and stuff who all are invested in stacks, but they never talk about it, right? And to me, that's highly suspicious, right? Why would you not talk about something if you're going to pump your own bags, right? Celestia, venture capitalists. Injective, venture capitalists. They always talk about those things, but why don't they talk about stacks? So listen to this. Listen. I said this yesterday, okay? Yesterday. Watch this.
Well, I'm really pretty excited about stacks.
This is great. Okay. So I called that better than I've probably called anything ever before. But, you know, I made this video, what? 4 weeks ago about how Alex Lab is worth billions, right? Somebody's going to have to buy into the DeFi sphere. DeFi is going to be too big. I've said countless times I think DeFi and Bitcoin is going to be the biggest theme for this bull run. So far, I think I've been right. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be that meme coin that goes, you know, 50,000x, right? Like bonk. Okay, yeah, obviously we can't outperform that one pick. Okay, I get it. But we're outperforming the gaming YouTubers, so on and so forth. Okay, so I thought this was funny. I said, these guys watch my YouTube channel too much. And it says, this is from Trust Machines. They work with the Stacks ecosystem. 2023 was the year of Bitcoin. 2024 will be the year of Bitcoin DeFi. So I think they're hitting us up, like hinting us on to something big here. I think it's going to be a huge year, right? Okay, so I tweeted this. ARKADIKO is pumping, obviously. I said, is ARKADIKO the biggest brain play of 2024? Okay, it's only valued at like $20 million. And it's pumping like crazy today. Let's see if it's pumping. It's probably, oh no, it's pumping a little bit more. That's nice. That's great. Now, why is this possibly going to pump? Well, first of all, it's Bitcoin DeFi, right? Go check out their site. Go see what they do. I think it's the narrative. But I also think there's another reason that I've taken from other sources, and I've thought about it and kind of let it mesh in my brain for a little bit. And I'm starting to agree. And I've heard this many places, so I can't just name one thing, right? Here's one of the main reasons. So they have this stacking DAO with liquid stacks, right? So you insert stacks and you get STX, which is liquid stacks. Now you get paid a yield for this. Now you can use this yield to do swaps on ARKADIKO in the future. It's part of their roadmap. But you can also use it to mint USDA. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about the USDA is if you go launch this and you go to one of the swaps, it lost its pegs. So I think this is one of the attempts to get that peg back to zero, to get those vaults bulky and beefy. And if it succeeds, what I think is going to happen is people are going to mint USDA, and you can bet your bottom dollar holler they're probably going to buy some Diko with it, right? ARKADIKO. They're going to buy the native coin with it. Okay, so that's going to pump the price, I think, like insane. Okay, now what is this worth? I'm not going to say. You have to find it worth in this, right? I'm not going to tell you buy or don't buy or whatever. I'm just telling you about what I think could happen, right? I also like Alex. It's pumping. It got up to 46 cents. It's back down to 33 cents. It could be an opportunity to look into this. Right now, I've said that 1,000 times. I really like it. I think ARKADIKO could go crazy in this bull run. If I'm right about the narrative, we'll see. We'll see. You know, there's narratives all over the place on every chain, and you can make crazy gains over there. I just mostly talk about Bitcoin right now. That doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. Now, a lot of people have brought up other chains that are associated with Bitcoin. One was Elastos, which has pumped pretty good, right? Over the last 180 days, it was at $1.26. It's now at $3.46. So not bad. People have brought up Tectum, right? And people have brought up Threshold. These are all different chains, you know, that are trying to move Bitcoin, right? And take over for that WBTC on Ethereum. But my question to you is why? Like, why would I invest in this, right? When I have STX, who's coming out with the Nakamoto release to have 5-second block times, right? It has SBTC, so you deposit Bitcoin, you get SBTC, moving on the rails and settling on itself. Why would I settle on other chains when I can settle on thyself? Like, it's like you love yourself, and if you can love yourself more, that's what you should do, man. You know, it's all groovy, baby. It's all groovy. So, you know, do I think these things can pump? Sure. Is it a guess for me which ones are going to pump? Yeah, absolutely. I have no idea. Maybe somebody has some alpha as to why these things are pumping. And I'd love to hear about it in the comments, right? They've got some new technology. Yeah, most of the time it's not the technology. Most of the time it's just, you know, a narrative play, right? So I don't know. To me, it seems like why that when, you know, I could just use stacks, right? You could stake stacks, you get liquid stacks. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff in this ecosystem just on stacks, okay? So this is also why, okay? This guy, I've been following for a little bit now. He's big into Welsh. He says, and L2 never made much sense to me on ETH because Ethereum was supposed to be the blockchain that can do what Bitcoin couldn't. So better L1 like Solana makes more sense. L2 on Bitcoin, however, makes a lot of sense to me because Bitcoin is best kept immutable. So creating value underneath it makes a lot of sense. So that's another reason, right? L2s on Bitcoin make more sense than on Ethereum and these other disconnected chains that are trying to move Bitcoin, right? I mean, only one L2 pays you Bitcoin interest, and that's Stacks, right? On Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, they don't pay you ETH, right? What's the other big one? Polygon, Matic, or whatever it is now. You know, they've changed their name so many times, I can't even count. I'm just kidding. I think it's twice. But still, why, right? So now that I've talked about the things I really like, let me talk about these other things that are, like, I just think they're interesting, you know, to think about and ponder. It doesn't mean I think it should be a part of a theoretical portfolio or so on and so forth, right? So I said, does Bitmap have staying power? T.O., he's big in the space. He says, it depends on if the builders come. There are some builders there now, but at 200 million market cap, it's bigger than the other side and Sandbox combined. So if builders are going to go anywhere, it will probably be .bitmap. If it can go 5 times from here, it becomes an even bigger magnet. I agree with this. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I think it makes a lot of sense. So I'll skip that. I'll go to this. So that's why I kind of like BMP. Now, I've gotten some feedback. I don't know if BMP is directly related to Bitmap. People who own Bitmaps got the airdrop. But I think if it can integrate in a lot of the programs, right, like Evolve is building on it, and if they don't want to use their native token or have more tokens, they can use Bitmap. BitEarth is using it, which is kind of like a Google Maps where it imprints the Bitmap over the whole world. I think this has an opportunity to run, and a lot of people are selling right now because they're selling their airdrop, free money, right? And it could go to zero, right? This is not a core tenet of a portfolio. I always say that I'm only focused on Bitcoin DeFi, but I think it's interesting to look at, right? I think it's smart. And the second thing I want to say about that is I feel the fate of the BRC. I think it's a mistake. I feel like people are kind of just resting on their laurels. It's just kind of coasting along. But I think that's a mistake. I think there's going to be a resurgence in ordinals, a resurgence in BRC 20s, maybe everything underneath, stamps, BRC 420s, the recursive.io with, selling in-game items, right? All those things you can look into, right? Just as I don't need to tell you to do that. You don't even have to listen to me. I don't want you to listen to me. I just want you to learn something, whether it's from me or somebody else. I just want you to learn. This is an educational center, okay? That's all you should be getting from this, education. Okay, now, let me say one final word. All of you are so attractive, it hurts. But I'm the most attractive. You can call me Hutch.